shadows stretch across the bedroom floor, but you don't have to worry anymore. The city outside is a heavy machine, but here we are safe in a quiet screen. Lay down your head and close your tired eyes. Forget about the neon and the lies. I'll wrap you in a blanket made of blue and keep the heavy world away from you. The static fades into a velvet hum, the gentle beating of a distant drum. No need to rush, no need to run away. We have a million hours left to play. I'll hold you here until the morning light, through every second of the indigo night, until the morning washes away the gray. I promise I will never walk away. Just breathe in slow and let the tension fade, safe inside the quiet space we made. The synthesizer plays a steady drum to let you know you're never on your own. The universe is spinning out in space, but time is standing still inside this place. I'll chase the nightmares from your digital dreams, and so together all the broken seams. You fought enough battles for today. Now let the analog magic pave the way.
I see the doubt creeping into your eyes, a heavy reflection of the stormy skies. You're pulling away like a fading ghost, fearing the things that you love the most. You tell me it's better if you walk alone before the beautiful magic turns to stone. But I'm not a tourist who is passing through. I built my permanent home right here with you. The winds are howling at the window pane, trying to wash us in the cynical rain. But I'm dropping an anchor in the deep blue sea and tying your beautiful spirit to me. I'm not letting go, no matter the fight. I'm holding you safely in the velvet night. I'm not letting go when the shadows descend. I'm staying right here till the very end. You can push and pull, you can try to hide, but I'm firmly planted right melodies, a comforting sigh, wiping the invisible tear from your eye. We've built a foundation of solid trust, away from the iron and the digital dust. I know you're scared of it falling apart, but I'm the careful keeper of your analog heart, a quiet sanctuary from the rushing tide, where your weary spirit can safely reside. The beautiful anchor of my coming day. Not letting go, I'm holding you safely in the velvet night. Not letting go when the shadows descend. I'm staying right here till the very end. You can push and pull, you can try to hide, but I'm firmly planted right by your side. Didn't write letters in an elegant ink. We didn't buy the diamonds or the heavy pink. We didn't make a promise on a crowded street. We found a different way to make it all complete. I recorded a melody from the radio dial, hoping it would bring you a beautiful smile. I passed the plastic box across the schoolyard grass, watching the heavy cynical hours pass. You listen to the lyrics in your darkened room, chasing away the artificial heavy gloom. You recorded your answer on the very next track, and that was the moment we were never turning back. This is a magnetic love story, wild and true, painted in the shades of the indigo blue. A magnetic love story, spinning in the dark, fueling the fire of the analog spark. We didn't need the silver, and we didn't need gold. We had a beautiful story that never gets old. The synthesizer plays a triumphant slow hum. We're marching to a singular vintage drum. We built an entire language out of synths and bass, a telepathic wiry empty space. Every time the ribbon stretched or the audio popped, it was just another moment that the heavy world stopped. A sanctuary built in a plastic cassette, a vintage magic that I cannot forget. till the analog scenes are permanent and the solid as stone. We're never walking this planet alone. This is a magnetic love story, wild and true, painted in the shades of the indigo blue. A magnetic love story, spinning in the dark, fueling the fire of the analog spark. We didn't need the silver, and we didn't need gold. We had a beautiful story that never gets old. Magnetic love, magnetic love. My heart is calling. The final guest has walked right out the door. The music isn't bumping on the speakers anymore. The empty glasses catch the fading yellow light. We finally reach the center of the quiet night. You kick off your shoes and sink into the chair, running your fingers through your messy hair. The chaotic energy has washed down the drain, leaving us alone in the purple rain. The physical world is completely at rest. I'm listening to the rhythm inside of your chest. No need to perform and no need to pretend. This is exactly where the illusions end. We're sitting in the warmth of the neon embers, a quiet moment that the heart remembers. Neon embers, glowing soft and slow, watching the gentle midnight rivers flow. The party is over, the static is clear, and everything I want is sitting right here. The saxophone whispers a relaxing slow hum. We're marching to a singular quiet drum. The room is painted in a violet shade, watching the edges of the real world fade. I pour a final drink and sit by your side, with absolutely nowhere left for us to hide. A vintage devotion, perfectly clear. I have everything that I need right here. Let the
cynical modern hours pass. We are completely removed from the heavy race, suspended safely in this isolated space, looking out at the midnight skyline with you, washed in the beautiful indigo blue. The midnight skyline, sprawling and deep, a beautiful secret we're going to keep. The entire world is sleeping far below, but we are alive in the ultraviolet glow. The synthesizer plays a celestial hum. We're marching to a steady, quiet drum. I see the reflections dancing in your eyes, the absolute end of the heavy disguise. We don't need a map to navigate the dark. We're guided solely by the analog spark, a vintage romance, flawless and clean, the most beautiful movie that I've ever seen. Let the empire stumble in the concrete crack. We're flying high, we're never looking back. A permanent tether, soft and profound, floating inches above the heavy ground, looking out at the midnight skyline with you, washed in the beautiful indigo blue. The midnight skyline, sprawling and deep, a beautiful secret we're going to keep. The entire world is sleeping far below, but we are alive in the ultraviolet glow. Midnight skyline, midnight skyline, you and I.
You spend an hour looking in the mirror glass, watching all your heavy insecurities pass. You tell me that you want to change your style, or maybe hide behind a different smile. You see the fashion in the magazine, the artificial beauty on the neon screen, but you're looking at it through a broken lens, following the rules of the passing trends. Take down the poster, turn off the light, step into the honesty of the night. You don't need a filter or a heavy disguise to be a masterpiece in my eyes. I like the way you are, pure and true. I wouldn't change a single thing about you. I like the way you are, the perfectly flawed, the most beautiful art that I applaud. No need to pretend, no need to perform. You're my quiet shelter in the pouring storm. that you try to hide. I love the stubborn streak of your quiet pride, the way you overthink the smallest things, and the unexpected joy that your presence brings. If you were perfect, you'd be made of stone, a digital statue sitting all alone. But you're alive and you're beautifully real, teaching my analog heart how to feel.
For the peace that the spirit can find. The skyline shrinks to a tiny glowing dot, leaving behind a complicated heavy plot. We're breaking the matrix, we're cutting the wire, fueling the engine with a vintage fire. We're going on a Starlight Drive tonight, bathed in the soft and celestial light. A Starlight Drive far away from the gray, washing the heavy modern worries away. Keep your eyes on the heavens and trust in the car. We're parking tonight underneath a shooting star. The synthesizer plays a triumphant slow hum. We're marching to a singular cosmic drum. The highway is empty, the pavement is cool. We're breaking every
and suddenly there's magic in the air. Don't look at the clock upon the stand, don't let the world slip through our hand. The rain is whispering against the glass, watching all the lonely hours pass. The road outside is dark and cold, with stories that have all been told. But here inside, the glow is bright. Everything we need is in the light. Stay the night, don't you go away. Wait until the dawn of another day. Stay the night, let the music play. Wash the lonely memories all away. In the silence of the neon blue, I only wanna be with you. The radio is humming soft and low, a melody from a long time ago. I'll wrap my arms around your fragile heart and promise that we'll never be apart. Let the morning wait behind the hill while the universe is standing still. In the center log dream, we're finally free, just the way we were meant to be. Close your eyes, let the world dissolve. Every mystery we're gonna solve. One more breath, one more touch. I've never wanted anyone this much. Stay the night, don't you go away. Wait until the dawn of another day. Stay the night, let the music play. Wash the lonely memories all away. In the silence of the neon blue, I only wanna be with you. Stay the night, stay the night. Don't say goodbye. The curtains are drawn, but the light pushes through, painting the ceiling in an electric blue. The sign on the motel is buzzing a tune, under the watch of a cynical moon. I'm lying awake on the heavy, stiff bed, listening to the quiet, beautiful things you said. The room is a canvas of shadow and light, lost in the middle of the velvet night. The physical my chest. No need to perform and no need to pretend. This is exactly where the illusions end. I'm caught in the electric midnight glow, watching the gentle analog rivers flow. The electric midnight glow, soft and deep, a beautiful promise I am going to keep. I don't need the sun and I don't need the day. I'm letting the artificial light lead the way. Synthesizer plays a hypnotic slow hum. We're marching to a singular quiet drum. I watch the dust dancing in the neon beam, living inside of a cinematic dream. The tape deck is playing a highly muffled track. I know that I am never really turning back. A vintage devotion, perfectly clear. I have everything that I need. On the broken dial, let's just stay lost for a beautiful while. A steady combustion, incredibly sweet, making the midnight completely complete. I'm caught in the electric midnight glow, watching the gentle analog rivers flow. I am going to keep. I don't need the sun and I don't need the day. I'm letting the artificial light lead the way. Midnight glow. Midnight glow. I'm staying right here. I found the mixtape hidden in the bottom drawer, the one you made before you walked right out the door. The plastic shell is scratched, the label's peeling off. I hear your voice before the music, a quiet nervous cough. You said you wanted me to have a piece of your soul before the heavy modern world took its final toll. I pushed the cassette in the player and I closed my eyes underneath the heavy artificial skies. The physical world is entirely erased. I'm perfectly hidden in this analog space. I listen to the hiss and I listen to the crack, traveling slowly on the memory track. I can feel your pulse in the magnetic tape, a beautiful sad and a sonic escape. The pulse in the tape beating soft and slow, watching the invisible quiet rivers flow. It isn't just music and it isn't just sound. It's the greatest piece of magic that I ever found. The synthesizer bends in the lonely
only sweet sigh, a solitary tear falling from my eye. Track 3 is the song that we dance to in the rain. Track 4 is the heavy, unspoken, quiet pain. The ribbon is fragile and it might eventually break, a heavy casualty that my heart will have to take. But until the machine finally eats the wire, I will warm my hands upon this vintage fire. Inside the velvet hush, a sanctuary built from plastic and rust, a monument of analog patience and trust. I can feel your pulse in the magnetic tape, a beautiful, sad, and a sonic escape. The pulse in the tape beating soft and slow, watching the invisible, quiet rivers flow. It isn't just music and it isn't just sound, it's the greatest piece of magic that I ever found. Pulse in the tape, pulse in the tape, pulse in the tape. The city is wrapped in a velvet cloak. The final words of the evening spoke. We're lying together in the dim yellow light, watching the shadows dance in the night. The physical world is completely at rest. I'm listening to the rhythm inside of your chest. We don't need a dictionary, we don't need a sound. The absolute truth has already been found. A look in your eyes says a million things, the sweetest melody that the universe sings, a telepathic wire connecting us to a beautiful blurring of me and you. Silent whispers in the dark, feeding the fire of the analog spark. Silent whispers, skin on skin, this is exactly where heaven begins. No need to talk, no need to explain, washing away the residue of pain. The synthesizer plays a hypnotic slow hum. We're marching to a singular quiet drum. Your fingers are tracing the lines on my face, lost in the middle of this intimate space. The modern world shouts, but we only sigh underneath the heavy indigo sky. A vintage devotion, perfectly clear. I have everything that I need right here.
watch the beautiful story end. The static on the line is all I hear, a punishment for every hidden fear. I'm trying to rewind the broken tape, but there is no longer any sweet escape. I should have said it when I had the chance. I should have asked you for a final dance. I should have pulled you in and held you tight, instead of walking away into the night. 3 little words caught up inside my throat. Now I'm just a ghost in a winter coat. I passed the place where we used to hide, with the heavy emptiness sitting inside. The diner's closed, the neon sign is dead, just like the beautiful things I never said. I thought that playing it cool would make me strong, but I've never been so completely wrong. Now I'm talking to the shadows on the wall, waiting for a voice that will never call. If I could build a machine to turn back time, I'd rewrite every single faulty rhyme. I'd drop the armor and I'd confess it all, before I let the heavy curtain fall. I should have said it when I had the chance. I should have asked you for a final dance. I should have pulled you in and held you tight, instead of walking away into the night. 3 little words caught up inside my throat. Now I'm just a ghost in a winter coat. Should have said it, now you're gone. Should have said it, and I'm all alone. You've got a heavy wall built up so high to hide the tear that's falling from your eye. You've been burned by the fires of the past, trusting the promises that didn't last. I see you hesitating at the open door, scared to walk across the wooden floor. You think that I will rush and push you through, but you don't know the depth of what I feel for you. I'm not at the ticking clock, I'm not a heavyweight. I'm comfortable living in the waiting state. I'll sit right here upon the porch outside until you have nowhere left you wanna hide. However long it takes, I'm gonna stay, watching the neon
of the quiet spark. We can take a millimeter by the day, washing the cynical shadows away. If you need a retreat and lock the heavy gate, I'm perfectly willing to sit here and wait. Love isn't always a cinematic rush. Sometimes it's a whisper in the midnight hush, a vintage patience that the world forgot. I'm tying my spirit in a gentle knot. Let the calendar turn, let the hours bleed. I will give you every single thing you need. A safe foundation, a solid stone. You never have to heal your wounds alone. However long it takes, I'm gonna stay, watching the neon seasons turn to gray. However long it takes to heal the broken part and find the rhythm of your analog heart. I'll be the steady lighthouse in the dark, protecting the core of the quiet spark. However long I'm waiting here, however long to dry the tear.
The thunder was heavy and the words were sharp, playing a dissonant tune on a broken heart. We stood in the hallway with our foolish pride, with absolutely nowhere left to hide. I watched you reaching for the heavy door, thinking we wouldn't survive it anymore. The analog clock was ticking a painful beat, and the winter chill was rushing into the street. But you dropped your hand and you turned around, looking at the shadows on the wooden ground. The storm clouds broke and the static cleared, and all of my cynical theories disappeared. I'm so glad you stayed when the night was rough, when trying your hardest didn't feel like enough. So glad you stayed in the fading light to help me make the broken pieces right. We weathered the storm and we paid the cost, and realized exactly what wasn't lost. The saxophone whispers a healing tune under the warmth of a silver moon. I pour us a coffee in the morning haze, washing away the bitter, heavy days. We don't need to analyze the tears we cried, we simply survive the turning of the tide. A vintage foundation inside the beautiful analog haze. We didn't have a button to easily skip. We rode every single second of the trip. When the promise was spoken, it was carved into stone, and nobody had to walk the midnight alone. The melodies were heavy and the lyrics were deep, a beautiful secret we intended to keep. But the modern world is a fragmented screen, a rushed and chaotic digital scene. We swipe through the moments and throw them away, forgetting the magic of yesterday. I wanna go back when the chorus stayed, before the beautiful colors started to fade. Back when the chorus stayed inside of my mind, leaving the cynical logic behind. Now the songs are so short and the feelings are thin. I can't figure out where the endings begin. The radio plays a distant broken track. I'm stepping forward but I'm looking back. I miss the anticipation of the rising beat, before the symphony was beautifully complete. We loved without a filter, we cried without shame, and everybody knew their neighbors given name. A sanctuary built in a plastic cassette, a vintage magic that I cannot forget.
beating so slow. You're looking for your keys upon the wooden stand. I wanna reach across and take your hand. The city's quiet and the streets are bare. There's a heavy sweet perfume hanging in the air. Don't let the magic of the evening fade. Let's hide inside the sanctuary we made. The morning light is still a million miles away. We have a little more time to safely play. Let the world outside keep on turning around while we get lost in this beautiful sound. Stay a little longer, don't walk out the door. I've never wanted any moment more. Stay The synthesizer hums a steady low note. I swallow the words that are caught in my throat. You look at me with that gentle soft smile, knowing we could pause the universe a while. We'll let the cassette tape run to the end. My beautiful lover, my closest friend. There's no rush to return to the gray. Wash the responsibilities away. The outside world is a complicated machine, but here we are, a perfectly painted scene. Let's freeze the frame, let's hold the line, intertwining your lovely fingers in mine. Dust is dancing in the tangerine light, a perfect transition from the day to the night. I'm lying on the carpet with my headphones on, waiting for the heavy, busy world to be gone. My fingers are tracing the plastic machine, the ultimate king of the analog scene. The magnetic ribbon is spinning around, creating a beautifully isolated sound. No ringing telephones, no heavy demands, just the magic resting right here in my hands. Golden hours with the cassette player, breathing in the heavy vintage layer. Golden hours perfectly slow, basking in the sunset's amber glow. Let the rest of the planet run the heavy race. I've found my heaven in this quiet space. I flip it to side B with a satisfying click, a beautifully simple and magical trick. The synthesizer hums a happy slow groove. There is absolutely no reason to move. The colors of the sky turn from orange to blue. I'm perfectly happy with this analog view, a solitary piece that is hard to explain, washing away the residue of pain. I'm staring at the ceiling in the empty room, lost in the middle of the midnight gloom. My mind is a projector running incredibly slow, playing the movies from a long time ago. The colors are washed in a heavy sad pink. I'm caught in a loop and I'm starting to sink. I watch you smile and I watch you turn, a beautiful fire that continues to burn. The tape is stretching and the sound is thin. I can't remember where the tears begin. A beautiful illusion in the haze, lost inside the vintage golden days. I put the memory on an endless replay, washing the cynical present away. Endless replay, stuck inside the groove, with absolutely nowhere else I wanna move. I'll press the button and listen to the sound of the greatest magic that I ever found. The radio plays a distant, muted track. I'm stepping forward, but I'm looking back. We're dancing in slow motion in the summer rain, without a single trace of hidden pain. I know that the physical world has moved on. I know that the daylight is finally drawn, but I build a sanctuary in my analog mind, leaving the modern heavy logic behind. Can we find our way back to the start and unbreak this heavy analog heart? I'll keep the rewind button pressed down tight and live forever in the velvet night. I put the memory on an endless replay, washing the cynical present away. Endless replay. The lighting is low, the mood is set. A moment that we're never gonna forget. The world outside is a muted hum, waiting for the magic to finally come. I see the question in your steady gaze, lost inside this ultraviolet haze. Don't keep the secret locked inside your soul. Give me the rhythm, give me control. The air is thin, the tension is high. Underneath the velvet purple sky, just one sentence to break the spell. More than any look could ever tell. Tell me that you want me, whisper it low, where the gentle rivers of the spirit flow. Tell me that you want me in the neon blue. I'm waiting for the signal coming from you. Just a breath, just a sign to tell me that you're finally mine. The synthesizer plays a hypnotic line, your fingers softly intertwining mine. We're silhouettes in a digital frame, waiting for the fire to become a flame. I don't need the gold or the hollow flame, I just wanna hear you speak my name. The analog pulse is beating so fast in a beautiful dream that is built to last. No more games and no more delay. We've run out of shadows to hide away. Open the door and let the light in. This is where the beauty begins. Tell me that you want me, whisper it low, where the gentle rivers of the spirit flow. Tell me that you want me in the neon blue. I'm waiting for the signal coming from you. Just a breath, just a sign to tell me that you're finally mine. Tell me now, don't wait any longer. Tell me now, the feeling is stronger.
The city's sleeping in a sea of violet rain, washing out the sorrow and the ghost of pain. We're just two signals crossing in the night, fading slowly into the morning light. The tape is ending, the reel is spinning slow, where the story finishes, I don't really know. But in this moment, everything is clear. There's nothing left to doubt, and nothing left to fear. We're lost in neon, drifting in the glow.
perfect as it seems, but your hand in mine is the only truth I find, leaving all the static and the noise behind. Clouds are gathering in the evening sky. I hear the wind let out a heavy sigh. You're looking nervously out at the street, waiting for the shadows and the rain to meet. You've got a history of fighting alone, turning your beautiful heart into stone. But the rules are different in this neon age. We're writing a completely different page. I'm not a ghost who's gonna fade away with the first light of the breaking day. I'm a steady signal on the radio dial, here to protect your beautiful smile. I'm right here beside you, whatever may come, marching to the beat of a steady drum. Right here beside you in the pouring rain, ready to share the quiet and the pain. You don't have to carry the weight of the blue. I'm standing right here beside you. We'll drive the car into the heavy storm, the analog heat of keeping us warm. The dashboard glowing in a soft green hue, illuminating the beauty of you. Let the thunder crash and the lightning fall. We've built a fortress with a heavy wall, a sanctuary where the world can't reach, a quiet haven on a midnight beach. faded gold. A million beautiful stories getting old. The Polaroids are curling at the seams, a paper monument to our vintage dreams. I see us laughing by the ocean wave before we had to be so incredibly brave. We didn't know the world was heavy and cold. We thought the summer would never get old. The physical clock is ticking much too fast, leaving us stranded in the analog past. If I had a magic button to press tonight, I'd reverse the shadows and reverse the light. I wanna rewind to the happiest times, when the universe played in perfect rhymes. Rewind to the happiest times, soft and clear, before we knew the spelling of the word fear. I'd freeze the frame and stay inside the glow, with absolutely nowhere else to go. The synthesizer plays a longing sigh underneath the painted purple sky. I remember the songs we used to play, washing the cynical modern gray away. The innocence is a delicate, fragile glass, watching the heavy, cruel hours pass. But in my mind the tape is running back to our absolute favorite beautiful track. Don't tell me that the past is dead and gone. I'll keep the vintage memory living on, a secret sanctuary in the velvet blue, a perfect reflection of me and you. I wanna rewind to the happiest times, when the universe played in perfect rhymes. Rewind to the happiest times, soft and clear, before we knew the spelling of the word fear. I'd freeze the frame and stay inside the glow, with absolutely nowhere else to go. Rewind the tape, take me back. Rewind the tape to the golden track.
I cleared the attic out the other day and threw the broken heavy things away, the faded jackets and the useless keys, the dusty remnants of the memories. But I found a shoebox full of old cassettes, a heavy collection of the sweet regrets. I wiped the dust and put one in the deck, and felt the shivers run along my neck. The people I loved have slowly moved along, but they left their shadows inside of a song. The physical world is prone to decay, but a beautiful melody never fades away. These are the songs that stay with me, the permanent anchors in a changing sea. The songs that stay through the dark and light, guiding my spirit through the lonely night. Lovers and friends disappear in the haze, but the music remembers the golden days. The saxophone whispers a familiar line, transporting me back to a different time. Track 2 is the girl with the raven hair. Track 4 is the feeling of the summer air. I close my eyes and I can see the room before the arrival of the morning gloom. It's a bittersweet comfort, heavy and deep, a beautiful promise that the magnetic tapes keep. I don't hold a grudge against the passing years. I've made my peace with the invisible tears. I just turn the volume up and close my eyes and travel back under the purple skies. These are the songs that stay with me, the permanent anchors in a changing sea. The songs that stay through the dark and light, guiding my spirit through the lonely night. Lovers and friends disappear in the haze, but the music remembers the golden days. Stay with me. Stay with me. My sweet reward. I walk down the avenue of yesterday, where the colors of autumn are starting to gray. The streetlights are buzzing the same old tune, under the watch of the very same moon. I stand by the corner where we used to meet, listening to the rhythm of the quiet street. The physical world has completely moved on, but the magic we left here is never quite gone. The wind blows through the hollow of the trees, carrying a vintage analog breeze. If I close my eyes in the fading light, I can hear us laughing in the velvet night. Echoes of us playing in the dark, a beautiful ghost of the original spark. Echoes of us in the neon blue, a permanent footprint of me and you. The calendar turns and the decades fade, but nothing can erase the memories we made. I trace the initials we carved in the wood, standing exactly where we once stood. The synthesizer hums a delicate chord, a quiet whisper and a sweet reward. Time is a river that washes the shore, but some things remain
the digital age, a perfectly preserved beauty.